Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face while you're sleeping. The smartest animals in the sea might surprise you, and they include cephalopods, fish, birds, and mammals. These creatures can perform complicated tasks, use tools, and form tangled social bonds, as well as exhibiting such complex emotions as jealousy and compassion. Clearly, human beings aren't the only animals on Earth with rich, varied internal lives. Here are our picks for 8 of the smartest animals in the ocean. Dolphin. Our first choice shouldn't come as a surprise. Dolphins top the list when it comes to smartest ocean-dwelling animals. This marine mammal has impressed people for decades with its impressive learning capacity, both in the wild and in captivity. And in terms of sheer brain size at 3.5 pounds, or 1.6 kilograms, the species has a larger brain than humans. Size alone, however, isn't the true maker of dolphins' intelligence. A dolphin's brain features specialized cells called spindle neurons, which are linked to skills such as recognition, reasoning, communication, and memory. Dolphins are so skilled at echolocation, which means they can use sonar waves to view their surroundings. Dolphins also have an even more complex limbic system than the human brain, which helps them feel empathy and compassion. Like elephants, dolphins have been known to mourn their dead and have also anecdotally helped people who are stranded at sea get back to shore. Finally, it's well known that dolphins establish complex social systems and interact with each other using a language of clicks and whistles. Because of their intelligence and easy trainability, dolphins are often exploited in marine parks around the world, held in captivity to perform tricks for visitors. We urge you to avoid these establishments, as well as any that offer in-water dolphin interactions. Dolphins are typically violently pulled from the wild during their capture, and as the intelligent animals we know them to be, deserve a life far better than one spent in an oversized swimming pool. Octopus. Although vertebrates are typically smarter than invertebrates, the octopus is the exception to the rule, as the world's most intelligent invertebrate. Just like dolphins, octopus have big brains. By some measures, they're as smart as dogs, although the comparison between invertebrate and mammal is dubious. They do, however, have almost as many neurons as those found in dogs. One of an octopus's most remarkable skills is the ability to change both skin color and shapeshift to look like another animal. Their powers of camouflage are remarkable, and they can change their bodies to mimic predators such as sea snakes. Octopuses can also make eye contact with humans and will reach out a tentacle to touch a hand, although you should not touch sea life. As for the mechanisms inside an octopus brain, their ability to problem solve has been well documented. Coconut octopus are smart enough to carry a discarded coconut shell around with them, which they use not only for shelter, but also as cover from predators. They can open jars both from the inside and outside, and have been known to repeatedly escape the tanks that hold them in captivity. One octopus was even videotaped leaving its tank to eat a fish in another tank, and then returning to its own. Orca. Orcas, or killer whales, are not actually whales at all, but the largest member of the dolphin family. When it comes to sea mammals, these animals have the second largest brain next to sperm whales. In fact, orcas' brains are nearly 4 times the size of a human brain. Many years of scientific research have demonstrated that orcas are great at problem solving and form complex social bonds with multi-generational pods living and traveling together. Research also shows that they can understand symbolic language and visual perspective. And just as dolphins do, older orcas pass along their life knowledge to younger orcas. Orcas also use unique dialects to communicate, as well as performing complicated tasks such as spy hoping, which describes when they peep out of the water to assess their location. They also use lobtailing, which means they lift their tail fin out of the water and slap it down forcefully to communicate with other orcas, and perhaps warn them of nearby danger. Sea otter. Not content to get by on its adorable good looks, the sea otter has recently begun to gain recognition as one of the ocean's smartest creatures as well. Using tools is rare in the animal world, but these fuzzy mammals regularly use rocks to open clams, and not only do they use tools to pry open clamshells, they hold onto them for later use, storing the rocks in a loose patch of skin under their arm. Otter's tool use isn't a new skill either, as recent research indicates they've been seen using rocks in this fashion for millions of years. making them among the first animals to learn to do so. Apart from using tools, these social animals also wisely employ a group of strategy to avoid floating away from each other when they're sleeping. Many otters will congregate together and form what's known as a raft, both holding hands and smartly wrapping themselves up in seaweed to stick close together. Penguin. Penguins are another fan favorite for their adorable looks and waddling walk. But beneath this cute exterior is another remarkably intelligent marine animal, and the only bird on our list. While scientists haven't studied penguin cognition as much as parrot or corvid intelligence, we can compare their intelligence to corvids, which include crows, ravens, and magpies. Penguins resemble corvids in several ways. They often hunt cooperatively by herding fish to the surface, where they're easier to pick off. This is far smarter and more effective than hunting alone, and also allows the birds to predict where the fish are going. Like crows, penguins also have exceptional memories. Several penguin species return to the same nesting spot each year and must find it in colonies holding thousands of birds. Being able to do so combines not only memory, but also amazing navigational skills. Navigation isn't the only area where penguins excel. At least 3 separate species can also filter out extraneous noise and focus on a particular sound, such as their partner's call, in a large colony of birds. Being able to ignore the background noise and focus on a particular sound is known as the cocktail party effect. And if the party features hundreds of penguins, we'd like to be invited. Manta Ray. Manta rays are the first fish on our list, and these graceful, gentle fish possess larger brains than any other fish species. Much of their gray matter is dedicated to problem solving and communication, and despite being minuscule in comparison, they can also have brains that are up to 10 times larger than that of a whale shark, the ocean's biggest fish. What are they doing with these giant brains? Research has shown that one of the largest signifiers of manta intelligence might be consciousness. They do well on intelligent tests that use mirrors to look for self-awareness and appear to be checking themselves out with full knowledge that it's them in the mirror. Mantas, looking at their reflection, exhibit atypical behaviors such as blowing bubbles while looking at themselves and checking out body parts that they don't ordinarily see when they're swimming. In the animal kingdom, only great apes and bottlenose dolphins have shown the ability to recognize themselves in mirrors. Other animals will either ignore or attack the reflection. Sea lion. Another big-brained animal, the sea lion, is also one of nature's most intelligent. Along with humans, elephant, and cetaceans, pinnipeds, such as sea lions, have evolved with large brains. In fact, sea lions are the only other species besides humans. One particular sea lion named Rio was put to the test by researchers at the University of California, Santa Cruz, who designed a series of tests to prove that she could use basic logic to solve a problem. Another recent study showed that sea lions have large sensory cortexes that correspond to their whiskers, which comes in handy to detect food and other obstacles underwater. Researchers noted that the amount of space in a sea lion's brain used for whiskers strongly resembles the space in human brains dedicated to interpreting the sensations in our fingers. Great white shark. Our last animal is the second fish to appear on this list, the great white shark. People often think of these apex predators as ruthless killers, and while they're efficient predators, they are much more than that. Great whites are actually quite intelligent and curious. Much of their prey, including sea lions and dolphins, is also quite smart. So great whites have evolved not only an impressive physical form, but also a quick mind in order to outsmart their prey. And, despite a reputation as loners, great whites frequently hunt cooperatively, which requires complex skills and communication. Finally, great whites, along with other sharks, possess a unique sense that humans can only marvel at. They are able to sense electrical fields. A series of pores located on a shark's snout are filled with cells that can feel both the power and direction of electrical currents. Researchers have found that sharks use this spidey sense to navigate the open ocean by following an electrical map of the magnetic field crisscrossing the Earth's crust. If you loved this list of the ocean's top 8 smartest animals, make sure you hit the thumbs up and comment down below. And don't forget to watch our other videos and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, stay curious.